Now, it seems that nearly 20% of UK adults are prioritising getting fit over saving for later life. But we need to look after both our bodies and our finances too. To give us a few tips, I'm joined now by broadcaster and documentary maker Ross Kemp, and also by Bola pension trainer and financial advisor. Good afternoon to you both.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, Jason.
Listen,
So, Ross, first of all, give us a few clues on this research because, I mean, as an actor, it's quite tricky knowing where your next income's coming from, let alone
and
planning
as
for
a
your future.
as a documentary maker, we always, we go back to research, and you that's the beginning of any documentary, is making sure you know what you're talking about or what you're investigating. And we've found that many people aged 35 to 55 are taking steps to get fit and healthy, but not many have organised their finances for later life. And that's why I'm sort of fronting this year's Pay Your Pension Some Attention campaign with Bola. And we want the nation to also focus on financial fitness and engage with pension provision for their future selves. And they can find everything they need to know by going to the pensionattention.co.uk website, where they'll find 3 steps in training to plan financially for their future.
Yeah, because, Bola, it is important we think about these things and not only tracking how we're getting on with paying our NI and all that sort of stuff from the government side of pensions, but also that important top up, because we can't get by on a state pension these days, can we?
No, absolutely not. And on top of it, we need to check our workplace pensions, but also our old ones. Many people don't check where their old pensions are, or they just assume they can't get access to it anymore. And that's why there's just a quick 3-step training plan process with this. And that's what pensionattention.co.uk is here to do. Just make sure that people can find the information they're looking for to clamor back as much of their retirement money as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Ross, if there was a workout that went along with this at the same time, we might have more success getting them to do it, mightn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously people are far more interested in going to the gym than they are than looking at their finances. But I think they're equally important if you want to enjoy your retirement.
Yeah.
There's no point, being stuck in the chair watching the television. If you want to get out and you want to move around and you want to enjoy your life, you've got to exercise through it. And also, if you want to be able to afford to go out and enjoy your life, you've got to have some money to spend. So, I think both are equally important, and we seem to be concentrating a bit too much on the health and fitness and not much as enough on our financial fitness. And that's what we're encouraging people to do. Because, as you say, the state pension, is that going to cover it? Will it even exist in 5 years' time, let alone 30 years' time? So, it's up to you to, look back on pensions that you may have paid into that you haven't claimed, look at what you have presently, and then work out what you might need in the future, so you can enjoy your later life, both physically and financially.
Absolutely. Bola, we've got first steps. Obviously, you've talked about making sure we know where we are on any pensions we've paid through our workplace. And also, I suppose our next step is to understand on what we can do to improve our position from there.
Yeah, I'd say you could potentially increase your contributions. So if you work for an employer, people need to find out about salary sacrifice. I always tell people to look into that. Maybe you could put some more into your pension and also ask your employer what they can do to match that. If you are a freelancer, I think people need to start looking at their pension. I get that it's a cost of living crisis, but we have to be sure that we are looking at our future as well and that we have something earmarked for that. So try and have a personal pension and you're putting money away. And if you are self-employed, it's tax deductible. This is what more people really need to understand.
Mm-hmm. And Ross, that's something I assume has hit you. You've been able to work that out through the years.
Yep.
And also, I mean, you've probably still yourself got little pension pots from various jobs you've had around your broadcasting work.
Yeah. And I've managed to, be able to go back and realise that I did have one that I didn't actually claim. And I've now claimed that and I've put that into my major pot. Just can't tell you. It's really, really important. It does seem dull. Would you rather go and do a workout? Would you rather have a game of football or a game of hockey or whatever your sport is? Of course you would. But, it takes the pressure off you if you know that, you have some money there for whatever life may throw at you down the line. It just takes a bit more pressure off of a very pressurized world that we live in. And as I say, it's not as interesting as probably, rock climbing or, going canoeing or whatever it is that rocks your boat. But it does take some pressure off knowing that there's a little bit there for you, and a little bit will grow substantially over time. It can go up, it can go down, but ultimately, because of just the way money works, it will go up.
Yeah, and Bola, again, this is something we need to monitor. As we're getting older, we need to work out whether we're in a higher or lower risk pension pot bracket. And yeah, all these things we've got to try and understand because it's confusing terminology used here.
I know that's why, it's so important. You need to know your attitude to risk. That way, you can find out what is your pension invested in, the type of funds that work for you. And, it's not just for people who are old. Some people just think, oh, look, I'm young, I don't need to care about pensions. Everybody needs to care about pensions. And you don't need to be making what you deem to be a lot of money in order to put something away. It's a bit like a savings habit, but in a different way. This is like investing for your future. That's what pensions are. And hopefully the money grows and compounds. So nobody is exempt. Everybody needs a pension.
Yeah, so if you are in that position whereby you have that free cash that, yes, you're going to go out and enjoy, spend on fitness clothes, and trainers and everything else that gets tempting, but also try and make sure you're siphoning something off to head towards a pension scheme. Winston, where can we go for more information on and get some advice?
Yeah, definitely. Visit pensionattention.co.uk. That's pensionattention.co.uk.
And you can check those details there. And Ross, anything else that you're doing at the moment that's going to add to your pension pot?
Yeah, I'm doing a documentary, a 5-part documentary about the manosphere, and about sort of the crisis that many young men find themselves in presently, and the reasons for it. And it's not an opinion piece. This is done with intellectuals who've been researching the subject for a number of years, and looking at, sadly, some of the adverse things that happen in our society presently with young men, and what hopefully we can do to try and resurrect the issues that they have, and try and overcome some of the large problems that young men face in society today, because it's not just affecting them, it's affecting young girls very much as well. There's been a rise in misogyny against young girls and women in general. So and the people that are perpetrating it are getting younger. Very heavy subject. I won't get any more into that. And also, I'll be off to Scotland on a lighter note to do the 5th series of Bridge of Lies in November.
That's something to look forward to there. And obviously, all keeping track of our pensions as we get involved in everything we're up to.
Absolutely.
Let's make our pension fitness work for us. Ross Kemp, broadcaster, documentary maker, and Bola, pension trainer and financial advisor. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, Jason.